It was a calm autumn evening, golden leaves drifting across the park. Officer Mark Jensen finished his patrol, but his K9 partner, Rex, wouldn't budge. The German Shepherd stood frozen beside an old wooden bench, staring intensely at it, tail low, body trembling. Mark tugged gently at the leash, but Rex refused to move, whining softly, pawing at the ground. A few passersby stopped to watch, whispering. Nothing seemed strange about the bench, until Rex started digging beneath it. Within seconds, what they uncovered would leave even the toughest officers silent. A discovery that no one was ready for. The night had settled gently over Maplewood Park, where streetlights cast warm pools of light across the winding paths. Officer Mark Jensen and his K9 partner, Rex, had been on routine patrol. It was quiet, almost too quiet. The park was empty except for the rustle of leaves and the occasional creak of the old swing set. Mark reached the far end of the trail and was about to head back when Rex suddenly stopped. His leash went taut. The German Shepherd's ears perked, tail stiff, nose twitching as he stared at an old weathered bench near the pond. "What is it, boy?" Mark asked softly. Rex didn't move. He just stood there, silent and alert. Then, without warning, he let out a low, uneasy whine, a sound Mark rarely heard from him. The dog circled the bench once, twice, and then sat beside it, refusing to budge. Mark frowned. "Come on, Rex. Let's go." But Rex only pressed his paw against the leg of the bench, scratching the dirt below. His body language changed, urgent, anxious, determined. Mark's instincts kicked in. He had learned long ago that when Rex acted like this, there was always a reason. "Okay," he murmured, kneeling beside the bench. He ran his flashlight over the ground, the beam cutting through layers of fallen leaves. Something glinted faintly beneath them. He brushed the debris away and froze. There, barely visible, was the corner of a small, rusted metal box buried under the soil. Mark's heart began to pound. "You found something, didn't you?" he whispered. Within minutes, backup arrived. Officers cordoned off the area as Mark carefully unearthed the box. Its hinges were weak, but when it finally opened, the contents inside drew a stunned silence. Inside were a child's locket, a faded photo, and a stack of old letters, all neatly tied with a piece of red ribbon. The letters were dated over 20 years ago, addressed to someone named Emma. But the last one was different. It wasn't finished. The ink had smudged from water or tears. As officers began examining the scene, an elderly woman approached the cordon, trembling. "That bench," she whispered, pointing. "That's where my daughter used to sit every evening." Mark looked up. "Ma'am, are you saying your daughter She nodded, tears filling her eyes. "She disappeared 22 years ago. The last place anyone saw her was right here?" The park went silent. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Mark's chest tightened. "We found something beneath the bench," he said gently. "You may want to see this." The woman's hands shook as she held the locket. Inside was a photo of a little girl and her mother frozen in time. She gasped. "That's us," she whispered. "That's my Emma." Further digging around the bench revealed more small bones, a bracelet, a child's shoe. The truth began to unfold like a nightmare. Emma hadn't wandered off that night, as everyone believed. She had been taken, and whoever buried her here had hidden her story beneath a bench where her mother returned every evening to mourn. Mark felt the weight of it all pressing down on him. Rex stood beside him, silent now, his head lowered. Somehow, the dog had sensed what no one else could. The forensics team worked through the night, gathering evidence that reopened a case long thought cold. By morning, news of Rex's discovery spread throughout the town. Headlines read, "Police dog uncovers 22-year-old secret beneath park bench." When Mark returned to the precinct later that day, the atmosphere was heavy with emotion. Colleagues congratulated him, but he knew it wasn't him, it was Rex. He knelt beside the dog, stroking his fur. "You did good, partner," he whispered. "You gave a family their truth." Days later, the entire town gathered at Maplewood Park. The old bench had been replaced with a memorial, a simple plaque that read, "In memory of Emma, never forgotten." The woman who had lost her daughter stood before it, holding flowers. Rex sat beside her, calm, quiet, and dignified. She reached down, placing a gentle hand on his head. "Thank you," she said softly. "You brought her home." Tears welled in Mark's eyes as he watched the moment unfold. He'd seen bravery before on battlefields, in rescues, but what Rex had done was something deeper. It wasn't just instinct, it was heart. That night, back at home, Mark looked at Rex resting on his bed, breathing softly. "You don't just protect the living," he murmured. "You honor the lost." Outside, The wind rustled the trees, carrying with it the faint sound of the park, the swing creaking, the leaves whispering, and somewhere in the quiet, it felt as though a soul had finally found peace. From that day forward, the park bench was never just a bench again. It was a reminder, a place where tragedy met truth, and where one loyal dog refused to leave until justice was done. And as the seasons changed, people would still come to see the spot where Rex had stopped, the dog who refused to walk away. Parents would tell their children the story, and children would point at the plaque with wide eyes. Because heroes don't always wear badges. Sometimes, they walk on four paws and carry the weight of stories only their hearts can sense. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true-life canine hero stories. Rex's instincts uncovered a truth buried for decades, reminding us that loyalty and love can transcend time. Have you ever witnessed an animal act with an intuition you couldn't explain? Tell us in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else. Turn on notifications so you never miss our next powerful, emotional story of courage, compassion, and the dogs who refuse to give up on the truth.